I'm the kind of person who throws himself into a job and I give it everything that I have. Over the years that I was in Philip Project, I used to think Philip Project would be up and running in 1 or 2 years. It's such a brilliant idea. You have international students in this country. You have the best training institution on offer. It's going to cost very little. 2-3 years, every church will be doing Philip Project. That's what I thought. As it turned out, things don't work out like that. Gospel work is steady, it is progressive, and it is more interested in depth than breadth. Eventually, God brings a breadth, but for us as individuals, we are asked to be faithful, we are asked to be consistent, and we are asked to give depth to the people that we are working with. So I did 10 years. At the end of that, I think I realized that for this work to really grow further, I thought I had given everything that I had, and I didn't want to do that. And I'm not being disloyal to people from my continent, but we are often seen, especially at leadership, that, think of how many presidents I could talk of who stay in their offices until they are in their dotage, and they really should have retired long ago. And I didn't want that. I just thought this is the time to bring in a person who has fresh ideas, fresh energy, and can reach people that I can't. I thought the foundation had been laid in terms of the knowability of the Philip Project. Churches had begun to know about Philip Project in terms of having a committee that was interested in Philip Project and what we were doing. And in terms of the finances, the Lord had brought in some money. And with that, I thought this is a good place for us, for me to leave. And that's why I was so delighted when, we got together as a committee and decided, yeah, let's do that. Let's look for someone to take over. And Jeff came in. I still remember his email address was at Peru. I could never understand where he had an email like that. And, then the Lord brought him in, and he has been able to do through the Lord has been able to help him to do things which I could never have done. I did attempt to do some of the things he's done. I did attempt, but I did not succeed to make it grow out of London, or the growth out of London has been because the Lord brought in a person who he had equipped to do that job. So I think I left at the right time. My parting thoughts would be, first of all, to anybody who is helping in the Philip Project. This would be what I would say. If Philip Project through you was able to produce someone who has even a quarter of the stature of John Stott, or any of the other people who have helped the church, if that's all that can be produced, forget even a quarter, even an eighth, our lives as workers in the gospel will have been worth it. Because think of it, someone presented the gospel to John Stott. They had no idea what was going to happen to him. Someone presented the gospel to someone called Festo Kivengere, who was a great evangelist in East Africa, in the East African revival. And through that, they have reached very, very many people. My word to you would be, or anybody considering joining Philip Project, is if you are in Britain, you probably come for any one of the three reasons. One, if you're from Asia, you're here to study, you want to succeed, and you know that your family behind there is expecting you to do well. That is your motivation. If you're from Africa, and maybe you've been here for a long time, maybe you don't even intend to go, or maybe you're a student here and you're from Africa, similar thoughts. But the thing which unites both groups is you want to succeed. Well, this is the message, that other people before you have played that game of success. And today, nobody remembers them. I'll say that again. The game you're playing, I want to be successful financially, academically, and whatever. You're not the first one to try that. It's been played by thousands and millions of people. Nobody remembers them. But people who lived for the gospel, we still remember who they are, and we still mention their names to today. So you have to choose. What do you want? You want to live for yourself? Or do you want to live for the gospel? If you want to live for yourself, your name and your time here on earth will give you some satisfaction, but it disappears. But if you live for the gospel, then you join the long list of people, all the way from Epaphroditus in Philippi to Timothy, to people in the present time we are living in, people like Godfrey de Saint-Mensa and others who did not live for themselves, they lived for the gospel. So choose what you want to do today. Live for yourself or live for the gospel. Live for eternity or live for the 90 maximum years, or if God gives you 90 years that you're going to be here, and then you disappear like everybody else. I know what I would do. I would invest in longevity through the permanence and the eternity of the gospel.